Libra, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. In this video, every single week, we review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun. Yes, specifically your natal sun, so that you know exactly how this is going to be impacting your week. I'm going to start very broad with the big stuff that everybody should be aware of. And then I'm going to whittle that down and focus in on the things that Libras specifically should be concerned with or just be aware of. And then we're going to break things down into the decans. And a decan is a group of 10 degrees. Every zodiac sign has 3 decans, and breaking things down into the decans helps astrologers really pinpoint how different planets are interacting with each other and which aspect is acting upon them. An aspect is an angle. So, well, it's the relationship that is formed because of the angle between 2 planets. So I can understand your natal sun and the position that your natal sun is in and how that's going to impact you much better and get much more accurate readings on what you can expect from this week. All you need to enjoy this video is your birthday, which I'm sure you already have. If you want, for those of you who have your natal chart, that's really most exact. And for those of you who want to get it after this video, it's really easy. You just search free natal chart or free birth chart. Either one of those will work, and so many websites can generate it for you. You need your birth date, your birth time, and your birth location, and then they spit out your birth chart, and you'll know not only where your natal sun is located, but all of your planets, and you can just dive deep into astrology. So I'm so excited for you guys who are going to do that. But let's start with the big stuff, shall we, Libra? Big stuff is full moon, and it's big for you because it's in a natural square. What's happening is a full moon in Capricorn, which is of course a cardinal sign. That also means that the sun is in Cancer, which it is. It's Cancer season. And this week, the sun is conjunct to Mercury all week. So it's a full moon that is in opposition, that's only about 12 degrees away from Pluto, that is in direct opposition to the sun, a conjunct Mercury. And this is going to be in a square to specific ones of you, exactly. But all of you will kind of be impacted with this square-like tension. It's like, it's almost, I gotta say, it's like it's gonna relieve a lot of tension. I feel like something is about to burst. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but by the end of the week, this pop will happen. And we'll talk more about it and how that's going to impact you. Now, it is trine to Jupiter and Uranus because it's dead center in Capricorn. So I think it's about 13, 14 degrees Capricorn. So it's dead center Capricorn, that moon. And so it's trine to Jupiter, which is at the end of the second decan of Taurus. The first decan of Taurus. And it's also trine to Uranus, which is at the beginning of the third decan of Taurus. So it's like right there, splitting those two. It's trine to both of them, which means that some odd, strange things are happening, and it's like almost like in some ways the oddball or the underdog finally wins out, and I'm really excited for that, of course. It is also, hold on a second, okay, I want to read this to you. The moon is about to reveal lots of shady details, stuff that doesn't work. Isn't that interesting? I'm just saying, while all this is happening, the sun conjunct Mercury is semi-square to Uranus, which means, yeah, there's going to be a little bit discomfort. People are going to be revolting against information or with information, bringing out that harder, that you can't get by it. You can't get around it. This is just going to be the truth. Because it's also trine to Saturn. The sun conjunct Mercury is trine to Saturn this whole week. So while this is all happening, there is this sense of also maybe playing by the rules, harmonizing, or simply just making sure that things function and making sure that things work out. There's something going on. We also have this week Jupiter sextile to the sun conjunct Mercury, which is also, there's just this huge opportunity through information and new information being discovered, coming out, speaking, being well spoken this week. So it's, I don't know, I feel like it's revolution. And then we have on the 1st, Neptune going into retrograde. So Neptune will have just gone into retrograde 2 days before this full moon. And that's significant, I believe, because Neptune in retrograde is actually really frustrating because like Saturn in retrograde, Saturn is in retrograde, Pluto is in retrograde. They're a little bit easier going or more internalized when they go into retrograde. Neptune, it's almost like Neptune is illusion. So when Neptune goes into retrograde, it's almost like in some ways the illusion is pulled away or held back from us. So that can be quite disruptive. So we have some veil being pulled back, that disruption happening, and then this pop with this full moon. So this is a majorly intense full moon. And since you guys are fellow cardinal signs, it is going to dramatically impact you. So let's see how. First, let's go to the zodiac sign of Libra. Nothing is actually in Libra, at least not the big stuff. There's no major planets, luminaries, or real big asteroids that are hanging out in Libra this week. It's not there. But don't worry, because your natal suns are definitely still going to be impacted. We do look to your ruling dignitary, and that is Venus. So I'm looking down at my notes, guys. You know I got to write it down. So Venus all week long is conjunct to Mars. This is extraordinarily romantic energy. It is tense, it is extreme, it is sexual and sexy. And since it is in Leo, it is also romantic and confident and prominent, and boy, is it a story to tell. So this is really vibrant energy, and for some of you, there's a direct sextile to this, so we'll talk about that as well. All week long, Venus is square to Uranus, trine Chiron, and semi-square the Sun conjunct Mercury. So what does that mean? Square to Uranus, actual sexual revolution. Like this sense of wanting something different and being able to, trine to Chiron, heal and being able to say who you are and let your natural freak out and really be seen and not care, because it's freedom, it's liberation, and it's healing from trauma that we've suffered in the past. It's making better choices because we finally learned. That's kind of what it is doing things differently. And then we have the semi-square between Venus and the Sun conjunct Mercury, which could very well mean that there's just words that have to be said. There's stuff that has to be spoken. There's information that must be brought to light. And so, now this could also not just be romance, right? This could also be finance. So let's see, right? Let's see how that impacts you. If you are Libra 1s, because you know that your natal sun is located between 0 and 9 degrees Libra. Your natal sun falls in the first decan of Libra, so you're Libra 1s. This usually correlates to the birthdays to September Libras. So between September 2nd and the 30th or the 1st of October, that is Libra 1s. That's you guys, definitely the Virgo cusp. Your natal suns have, if you're at the cusp, if you're at the Virgo cusp, you have a long-term trine to Pluto, which is sort of that metamorphic period when you are getting familiar with and allowing yourself to transform into your own possibility, your own personal evolution. That's over the next couple of years, but you also have a real peace about you, a real psychic ability, and a real formidability about you that actually helps the situation, helps to tranquilize situations. Now, you, for this week, have a quincunx. Your natal suns are quincunx to Jupiter, which means there's some sort of frustration about rapid expansion and growth that's really getting to you. And that opposition to Neptune could just be that, you know what, I see things that nobody wants to see. This sense of, or maybe not wanting to see the truth yourself, because Sun opposite Neptune is sometimes self-deception or very easily deceived. So this is something to become aware of, and you could be becoming aware of something that you don't want to very quickly this week. Libra 2s. So if your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Libra, it's in the second decan of Libra, and you are Libra 2s. This correlates to, say, October, maybe 1st, definitely October 2nd through the 10th, maybe 11th of Libra. So your natal suns are square to the full moon. Yeah, and your sun, and that's on July 3rd. But your natal suns are square to the sun conjunct Mercury all week. So what does that mean? There's some tests and some challenges and some major conflict that could release tension that needs to be released, especially when it comes to secrets that have been kept, deceptions, illusions, especially since that moon is going to be in Capricorn in terms of like not financial stuff, but like business dealings, right? Or corrupt corporations, just stuff like that, really, or people who like to rule or dictate, or laws and regulations really fucking clashing right now with you. That resistance can create a great, tremendous burst of energy, maybe to inspire you to keep pushing. But that's going to be a really tense energy for you when it comes to the full moon. And I know that something big is about to blow up out of it. We have an opposition to Chiron, which means there's a lot of trauma that you're dealing with and trying to heal from, but it could be getting the best of you, or at least feel like it is. This could be part of the tension. And then we have a trine to Venus. A semi-square to the Venus-Mars conjunction all week long, which means there has been some constant stubbornness but that's the combination. It's almost like something's about to pop, especially when it comes to, could be finances, could be love, could be romance, something just kind of like gets real heated, steamy, tense, the tension that can't be ignored anymore. You let me know. You let me know in the comments below, unless you don't feel like it. And then we have Libra 3s. So Libra 3s, if your natal suns are between 20 and 29 degrees Libra, you are in the third decan of Libra. You're Libra 3s. This correlates to those birthdays between the 12th and I would say the 21st of October. You guys are sextile to the Venus-Mars conjunction. Even that you're square to Pluto. So there's definitely some things changing. And the change now, the tension, and being really like, I'm not going to take it, I'm relentless. It could have really helped that something finally breaks through for you guys, especially when it comes to your sexuality, your sensuality, or just your sense of value and self-value, and something finally being able to burst through. We also have a conjunction between you guys and the South Node if you are at the cusp of Libra and Scorpio, which means acceptance of where you've come from and what you're good at. So you let me know in the comments below how this is impacting you. I think this full moon is going to be huge for you guys. I think the opportunities are going to be much more noticeable when it comes to Libra 3s. But Libra 2s, don't feel left out. It's not like there's not going to be a burst of energy for you. It's just going to be more tension before it happens. That full moon is going to be big for you guys, especially where there's just that real almost like shrapnel explosion in your life. Like the walls have just got to come down. And then, there's this long term with Libra 1s. There's this long term sort of metamorphosis that's happening to you. And it feels right, and you know it's right, especially psychic awakenings. And with Neptune, because you're in opposition to Neptune, it could even be some not so comfortable at first encounters with loved ones that have passed. This sense of maybe even being distracted or having intrusive dreams. It may not come to you in a way that you can really handle it all at once, but definitely writing it down or figuring a creative way to use it as inspiration I highly suggest it, and it would be very helpful. So you guys let me know in the comments below how all this energy is impacting you. Please come on over to Born Without Boundaries to watch your Libra week ahead tarot card reading, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel before you click away. I love you guys. I'll see you over on Born Without Boundaries.